welcome to G Vibes. It's your girl G9 in the building. You see that harmony I used? It was a little harmony. I had a little Sierra going on because, you know, she do harmonies. I don't know about the other part. But she can do harmonies. I'm just playing. I'm no hate. I love her and her husband. Period. Every woman is looking for the Russells. And it's kind of hard to find out here.
Unless you play football.
Oh, yeah. You got to come up to the mic.
Okay.
So, you guys, we have a special guest today. His name is Donald. Do you want to say your whole government and your
Donald, DJ, don't matter.
Oh, say it all in the mic.
Donald Boat.
His name is Donald Boat, you guys. Make sure you want to shout out your Instagram or whatever.
It's DBoat33.
Oh, D-Boat. What's 33 stand for?
Well, the first 3 was taken, right? For my football. Yeah, it's football. So when you try to go on Instagram,
Right.
just put the 3. But yeah, that's my favorite number.
3?
Yeah, for football, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you played football.
Played football.
Yeah, you did. You used to play football.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So y'all dabbing because he played football? Who your favorite team?
Right now, Green Bay. But they
sorry
just
about
lost.
that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's all good.
Don't give him the booze. You were supposed to give him the booze for that, but it's okay. Leave him alone. Stall him out, Debo.
Yeah.
He going through it right now, so I'm gonna leave him be. I'm a Colts fan, so we both going through it right now.
Yeah, that was it.
Hey, you know what? I felt so bad for our homeboy Nate, because, you know, he Green Bay Packer fan.
Yeah.
I said, dang, I should hit him and say, you got next year, but I was like, you don't hit people up when those times.
Yeah, when they lose, nah.
When you lose in football, do you hit the person up when they lose? No? I would hit my friend up like, girl, I'm sorry.
Nah.
Girls
you
can't
gotta
do
let
that.
them be in it for like their little 2-week span.
Nah, because what me and my friends do is that we have a full-on discussion about, what happened, what could have gone different, you know, why certain things didn't happen. We have a straight-on football discussion.
We saw what happened on that.
I heard it was a close call. I'm sorry, I didn't watch it. I heard it was a close call.
Nah, it just coach made some bad plays. Just put it like that, and it cost us. So
yeah.
So now the new school playing the old school. I heard Tom Brady's playing.
It.
I don't care for Tom Brady like that.
You should have went for it on
I didn't
fourth.
like the Patriots.
Right.
I never did.
So now that Tom Brady's over there, what's your feelings?
I want the new guy to win.
Okay, there it is.
Not just because he black, y'all.
Okay, so you want the Chiefs to two-peat.
Yeah, I do. Why not?
Okay.
Patriots been winning since 1992. Like, no.
Well, it's true, but he ain't on the Patriots.
I know, but still. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but not since 92. It's been early 2000s.
But I'm just saying, I'm getting.
She
owned
owned
what I'm
it. She
saying.
owned it.
Yeah.
I do know some football because whoever my boyfriend is at the time, I'm on their team.
That's your exactly. That's my
Like
wife right
now?
now. Yeah, that's my wife.
Oh, that's yours?
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. Yeah,
With your wife?
Yeah, she a Green Bay fan too now.
So
Yeah.
what did she do to feel you?
Well, first of all, I don't even think she had a team prior, right?
Okay,
But
okay.
when she met me, now she a Green Bay fan. So there it
Did
is.
she do anything to comfort you that day?
Nope.
Was you sad, or was you like,
Nah,
this is just a game?
Yeah, just a game.
No, because y'all men be taking it serious about football.
Right. Yeah, the way I look at it, it's just a game.
It'd be like a cold 10 in the house. Everybody be quiet like.
Yeah, it is
Don't say
what it
nothing.
is. At least we got that far. You know what I mean? A lot of teams didn't get that far. It's like,
Exactly.
that's how I look at it. Like, we got that far twice.
Right.
But now you got to look at the future on whether or not he's going to return.
That's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, cause how many did the Green Bay Packers? I mean, with this quarterback, how many did?
How many years did he have?
No, how many rings did he get?
1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I know.
yeah. He probably like, I don't even want to come back next year.
Say
Maybe
it.
try one more time.
One more game.
One more again. Okay, so you guys today. I've been trying to get him on the show for a minute. I know I hit you up like last year to come on the show. Even before I seen you on the podcast that you were on, the Homeway. Shout out to the Mean Podcast. They dope podcast. Check them out. Before I even see you on there, I hit you up. I see you and your wife doing a lot of investing, and I was so interested in it. I didn't want to go into too many details with it because I knew I wouldn't understand. So I said I got to bring him on the show so he can make me understand. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
So I want to talk to you about a lot of stuff, right? But when we're gonna talk about some social network stuff. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay, so how do you feel about the whole election, the inauguration, Trump, everything that's been going on with that right now?
Got you. Well, one, I feel super good that we have the majority in the Senate, right? Obviously, by you hearing me say that, you know which side I'm on. Yeah. Glad Biden won, and I'm glad that there was a huge turnout, right? That people, voted with their feet essentially by getting out.
I mean, it's still 74 million people voted for Trump. So do you understand how many people out there still have those views?
Right, and to me, that could be a problem, right? I mean, everybody have their own views, but it's when people do crazy stuff or act on those views.
Like the Capitol.
Now,
what was your... I didn't hear not one person that talked about how bad the Black Lives Matters was.
Right.
The movement. And we were a movement, we were not burning down stuff for no reason. Mm-hmm. So, how do you feel about the Capitol situation?
So right now, I think that everybody that was involved, that trespassed, that went on there, should face some type of repercussion penalty. Right?
They just got a slap on the wrist, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
They did.
As it is right now.
Because he wanted organic food, and they kind of...
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Organic
so
food.
as it is right now, we can see that there's
difference.
Two sets of laws. You know what I mean? One applies to a certain demographics of people, but I think that they need to set an example, right, of why you can't do this in the future.
Yeah, and I feel some way because it's like if that was our culture in jail, we not getting no bond.
Yeah.
We're not getting out.
Yeah.
No time
soon.
soon.
That's deep.
Definitely no bond.
Right.
I mean, to be factual, the maximum amount of years that anyone would have faced for the crimes that were committed at the Capitol, not only just invading the Capitol, but the actual theft.
Yeah, the theft and all of that.
All of that would amount to 20 years in prison.
And half of them ain't doing that. None of them gonna do that.
One of them literally got released. She has an ankle monitor.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have got that, y'all.
And she's at home.
Yeah, that sets a bad precedence, right? So if they don't do anything about this, is this almost as if that was like a practice, right?
Yeah,
somebody can go do that again.
Yeah, and that's the thing about why we say we are so divided, and that's how you know they see it and they don't give a fuck.
Right.
Because if you cared, you would give those people the same record. We would have been in jail, under the jail. We would have got beat up.
It would have been a wrap. It would have been a wrap.
It would have been so many stories. It's not even as talked about as it was as the Black Lives Matter movement. It's not even talked about as much.
So that's why you see few black people that were there. They was like, I ain't trying to be around none of this, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you had a couple there, here and there, sprinkled around, but they like, y'all do y'all.
Yeah, like the lady that got killed. They trying to take that that man down. But it's a lot of us that got killed in Black Lives Matter movement. It's a lot of us that got beat up really bad.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things, and we just see the division.
Yeah, and it was a difference. Clear. Yeah, it's a difference of the protests, right? One, you protesting over here because of injustice.
Yeah.
Right? Over here, you trying to say, somebody stole my election, right?
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Talking about the count. I can't believe how they even doing all of the. Okay, well, we're gonna remember how many times they tried to see how many was it really rigged or
right.
It's just crazy how they do us.
Yeah, I was just watching like, hey, where's the National Guard? Oh, y'all ain't got no police over there?
How did you get into the Capitol? Like, really?
So I think they're doing some more investigation.
They let them in.
They did let them in. And did you see how the police was letting them in and they were talking to them as they was walking in like it was nothing?
Yeah, taking pictures.
Okay, so we're going to get off that because it's going to make us even more. We don't need to get on that. We already know what it is. We ain't even going to get on that, you guys. Yeah, it's not. We're not going to waste our time on the Capitol talk. We already know what it is. We already know we divided. We somehow need to not be divided anymore and somehow need to get that together.
That's true.
Okay, well, how was your 2020 overall besides all the bullshit that's been going on? 2020.
2020. So 2020 had some ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
Started off really good, you know what I mean?
Well, besides Kobe passing in January.
Yeah, besides Kobe passing in January. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to him.
Yeah. And then what happened? So I won at the casino, right?
Wait, he said he won at the casino. Wait, he won at the casino, y'all.
Yeah.
What did you win? Let's see what you won.
Close to like 30,000. Yeah. So that was in February. I'm trying to have another good year start off.
How did you win? What game you played?
Poker. I had a little poker tournament.
Oh, right? Can you teach me how to play?
I can teach you how to play. Yeah,
because I need to win 30,000.
Hey, well, that was a little tournament right there. So, but the motivation behind it is why I think I won.
What was the motivation behind it?
Me and my wife wanted to do IVF.
What is that?
The in vitro fertilization. Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
I know what you're saying.
Yes. So IVF. So we went through that process.
Oh,
right?
she can't.
Essentially, it was like a combination. Me too. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, as you know, that costs a lot of money.
Definitely a lot of money.
So I'm like, all right, we need to go win some money, right? And make that happen. What else in 2020?
You know what? For a man, and I'm gonna give it up to you. Can you give him some claps for that? For a man to even want the things that your woman desire and you desire too, you willing to do anything to do it.
Yeah.
That's really dope. Not all men want to do stuff like that.
Right.
They're like, okay, you're gonna have to figure that out. We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to pump some more or something.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for that.
That's dope.
So we went through that. But the bad news about it is that I guess it didn't take, so it was like a miscarriage on that.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, not a problem. We getting back at it, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you got to. Keep going.
Start the process all over.
And God's going to bless you in due time.
Oh, most definitely.
You got
Thank
this.
You. Appreciate that. For real.
I put the sprinkles on it, y'all. I put the sprinkles
I need that. Well, we need that. So, what else?
How many kids y'all want?
Oh, that's a good question. Put me on the spot. I'm going to just start off with, let's say, 2.
Okay.
All right. I don't know how many she want, but we're going to keep it at 2.
2 is fine.
2, yeah, hopefully a boy.
I don't have any, so I don't know.
Right. So, I mean, I don't have none now, so.
Well, okay, that's dope, though.
What else? So, 2020 was pretty good. I mean, it had its ups and downs. I had 2 major surgeries, right? So one at the beginning, so right after that tournament.
Oh, you really had a year.
Yeah,
he really had a year, y'all.
I really had a year. And the second surgery, like my organs was on ice. So
really,
yeah. So I'm just thankful.
So you was incognito?
Yeah, I was incognito for a little bit. Yeah, I had to put.
You see, you up and you walking and you.
Man, I'm walking.
And
but I got a big scar. It's like. Right here,
but your wife love it.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. Who else matters? Nobody
else.
But at the end of the year, do you look back at everything that's happened from the pandemic, from everything that's been going on with the culture, just everything? You look back and what did 2020 teach you? Because I know it was a lifesaver for a lot of people.
Yeah. One, just to be thankful for your sources of income. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I try to preach is basically you got to have multiple sources of income, because if one of them ever goes down or multiple of them ever go down, or put it like this, if you're reliant on one source of income, you at the greatest risk.
Right. So how important is the black dollar?
Black dollar is very important, right? I think it's one of those things that we need to keep in our community, not necessarily keep in our community, but support our community.
Yes.
Right. I think depending on what type of business somebody start, you can have a lot of hate. That's what I call it. Call it hate, right?
Yeah, a lot of hate.
A lot of hate. So I think it's because of our own skin. I'm not sure 100%, but you see a lot of competition. Right.
And that's what I feel like we fail at that. That's why we don't get ahead so much.
Right.
Because everybody's in competition to show the other person they can do it, or they can do it better. Or
exactly.
It's not about that. If we come together, we can get shit done.
That's the point.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to play a song right now. We're going to play John Legend and Miss Janae. I said Aiko?
I don't know how to say it.
Janae. I don't want to say her last name wrong. We're going to play their song. They song we jamming to, y'all. Okay, bye. Hey, welcome to G-Vibes. It's your girl G9 in the building with my man Donald. How you say Donald B?
Donald Boat.
Donald Boat. Okay, we're going to give his whole name. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking to him about how I met him, and it's very much funny. So, I used to have an apartment in Hawthorne on Doty back in the day. That's when Hawthorne was just popping. Yeah. Everybody lived in Hawthorne. So, to make the story short, I met him through a friend, one of our mutual friends, KK, and it's a lot of them, a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
They used to leave my house and go to his house. I'm putting quotation marks. And he used to have a space. How did you get into your space? You want to tell one of those funny stories before we get into something serious?
So that space, or what we call the spot, was on Crenshaw. But basically, I had got prior to that, I got kicked out the house. Right? I'm gonna put it like that. Just got kicked out the house. Not really, but anyways, I was on my own. Right? So I ended up getting that spot, and basically, it was like a big garage, 2 rooms in there. You know, like a full setup, like a warehouse almost.
Yeah.
And then, I just put the flat screen.
You had to pay for it every month?
No, not at all.
How did you move in there for free?
Yeah, I had the homie hookup.
Wait, so you moved into not office space, but a warehouse spot?
Basically, yeah, they had 2 big
for
rooms.
free.
Yeah. So that was the homie hookup right there.
Everybody used to go over there, y'all. Like, we going to the spot. I used to be like, what spot? And then I drove past and seen everybody going. I said, I ain't going in there. That's the hood.
That was the spot. And then shortly after that, that's when I got my own, I guess you would say, beauty salon and beauty supply on Rosecrans and Crenshaw.
Oh, you save money to get you a beauty supply and stuff? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so let's get into that. And what do you actually do?
I do a lot of stuff. So I do financial services. I work at the school district, and I invest pretty much.
Okay, so how did you get into investing? Because you said a beauty supply and all that, and you're a male, so we're looking like he opened a beauty supply.
Right.
How did you get into that?
So my parents actually had a beauty salon and beauty supply. Ultimately, they closed it down after 5 or 10 years. But I was working in it when I was in high school, and that's kind of how I got the knowledge on some of the beauty supply products and stuff like that. And then my parents closed it down. They had my little sisters. And then I think it was like a year later, this is around that transition time, decided to open it back up under my name. So at first it was a Ladies Touch, and then I put it as Set to Style. So that was the name of it.
Okay, well, check him in. He came up with a name too.
Yeah. So
you didn't have no woman involved with all of this, or you just really was doing all this stuff?
I was really doing all of this. I mean, I got the knowledge from my mom because she was a cosmetologist.
Right.
Selling the hair, you know what I mean? And that's what essentially part of that got me through college. You know what I mean? So yeah, selling hair and the beauty supplies, all that stuff was good.
So you was an entrepreneur at how old were you entrepreneur?
Oh man, I want to say, what was that, 18, 19?
Dang.
So I mean, it was out of high school, so right out of high school.
That's crazy because a lot of people don't even know what to do at that age.
Yeah.
So you was managing a beauty supply like that?
Yeah.
And how was it going? What made you close it?
What made me close it? I think I had got the position at the school district, right? But I previously to that was temporary. You know what I mean? Well, when they called me, it was like, hey, you want to come over, put your 2 weeks notice in, and I'm thinking it's a full-time position. And they would later on, after 3 months, it was like, hey, you gotta take the test again. You know what I mean? Because I guess I was number 1 and it expired.
Right.
You gotta take the test again. So now everything is on the line. If I don't pass this test and rank number 1 or 3, 1 through 3, because only the top 3 ranks, then it was a wrap.
Well, the school district, I know for sure. It's like the county.
Yeah, so you gotta rank, and fortunately I ranked, and then I got there. But during that transition, you know what I mean, I had to zone in. So sometimes you can have too much stuff on your plate.
Right.
And it was one of those situations where I'm shipping out products, which is cool, and then at the same time I met my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. She was helping me, you know what I mean, ship out products and stuff like that. And sometimes you gotta zone in, lock in.
You met her at the beauty supply?
No.
So she coming in there getting her stuff, and you like, what's up?
Right. So remember we was talking about the spot, right? So when I moved, or when I transitioned over here to the beauty salon, that was cool because that was it was a supply. Yeah. And it had a shower, the bathroom, the whole thing. So I was actually staying there too. So shipping out products. So I wasn't at some an apartment or whatever. So that's where I was at. A lot of people don't know that, but it's part of my story, my struggle.
Oh, okay. So let's get right into some questions. I want to ask you, how did 2020 impact your life and your business?
Yes.
The business, exactly.
The businesses.
With the nest.
Right. How did 2020 impact it? So a lot of it didn't really have to do with, I guess the COVID. It had to do more with my health, right?
Yeah.
So remember, we had to take a temporary pause on 2 segments of that year, early March, and then I think, what was it, just recently in August, you know what I mean? And that gave me the pause just to think and start, developing concepts, the business plan, because you got to have all of that stuff in order if you want to have a great 2021.
Right.
So that's how I looked at it. So during 2020, I was just stacking, and you're thankful that you can work from home, or you're in a position to work from home. Now, my wife, she's already working from home prior to COVID, but being able to transition like that was pretty good, because I'm what they consider high risk or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a blessing. Being able to put the business plan together, and just take advantage of the markets. You know what I mean?
So you into stocks and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How did you get into that, and how important is that for everybody to do?
I guess it was just a mindset, like reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know what I mean? And
With that book.
Yeah, that book is.
What is it? Who is it by?
Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah.
Okay.
Rich Dad Poor Dad. But basically, it broke down the different concepts between being an employee, self-employed, business owner, or investor. You know what I mean? And then you're able to have that paradigm shift. Right. To where you can say, okay, I don't have to just work for somebody my entire life. You know what I mean? Like with me at the school district, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Right now, and I have other sources of income. But people say, okay, well, are you practicing what you preach and everything like that? And the answer is yes. You know what I mean? And
you always want to have something stable, I think. I always feel like having a stable job and have other money coming in from other places. Like,
I agree. Yeah, the way I look at it, and back to 2020, the way I look at it is, let's pretend that I was just doing, real estate or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I thought that I was having a good year. I made 100,000, 200,000, whatever the case is. Well, just the last hospital visit was 800,000, right? And I didn't have to come out of pocket on none of that, right? So that's just the Lord right there.
Right, because you
had a good job.
Yes, right? That's why it's good to have medical. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, how important is feeding your community with knowledge about finances?
I think it's very important. That's like the keystone to building that generational wealth, right? Because, for example, let's say somebody lost their job, but they had a 401k, 403b, if they knew what that was, and well, they do know what it was, but they got fired, left their job. They take that money and then go and spend it, right? Not realizing you're happy you got the money. My job left me, or I let it go. Give me my $50,000 that I worked hard for. You go and spend it. You turn up, right? Not realizing that was income distributed to you, right? And then you got to pay income taxes on it, right? So then that's where the spiral started coming in, because something you had that lack of knowledge, right? Now you in debt. You know what I mean? Now your credit messed up. So I think that those things are very important, just to have that financial grasp.
Like, I know a lot of people are bad with money.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, investing it makes me nervous, because I don't know if I'm gonna get my money back and some.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
How important it is to pay attention to what you're investing in.
That's very important.
And knowing what you're gonna get back, or believing. How do you trust that?
Right. So let's just stick with the job, for example. The person that's in HR, I'm in HR, but the person that's at Company X HR is not qualified to give you financial advice. They're an HR representative, so they give you a packet to say, hey, welcome, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're excited that you got the job, you're just filling out the packet, you know what I mean? Not reading it, right?
Never reading
And then didn't realize 5 years, 10 years down the line what you got yourself into. So let's say you got a 401k and it was involved in some risky allocation, right? Well, you want to make sure that you have a floor, right? Because you just talked about making sure my money's protected.
Right.
Well, this is what everybody can do now is, hey, let me go look at my 401k, 403b and see if my allocation has a floor.
And what is allocation?
Just where my money is allocated.
Okay.
So inside these 401ks, they have different segmentations, right? That you can put your money in. High growth, I'm young, I want to.
And should people do that?
What? Have a 401k?
Yeah. How important is that? Because
it's very important, because that's one of it's a wealth generation tool, right? That's just one, right? Owning assets as opposed to liabilities is another tool, right? Mm-hmm. But knowing where your money is going, just like how you said, that's the most important thing, right? Because in 2008, 2009, we had the market crash, right? So if you had 100,000 in there, and let's say the market took a dip of 30,000, and you were set to retire, well, you just lost 30% of your money, 50% of your money. And a lot of people are just now getting back to even. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Yeah.
The impact of $1. I heard you say something about that on the meme. What did you mean by
that? Let me see. What did I mean by that? So the impact of the dollar is basically coming together as a community, right? Mm-hmm. And just like how you said earlier, not competing with each other. Because I think it was a statistic out there that basically says that we have 1/10 of the wealth of a white person, right, or a Caucasian person.
Yes.
And you guys say, okay, well, how did that start? Well, we know how it started. You know what I mean? You have a breakdown in the system, basically. So you had racism back then, but a breakdown in the system where they were redlining, not giving out loans, right? But if we can come together and say, okay, let me give you that education, right, to see how you can get a loan now, okay, right. You could qualify. Or there's programs out there like NACA, right, where you don't have to put no down payment down and no closing costs and all this other stuff. But a lot of people didn't know that, right? So that's what I mean by trying to, just keep the money together.
That's deep, because a lot of people are in competition with each other, and that's probably why our dollars are not connecting together as well.
Yeah.
Controlling your own dollar, what does that mean?
Controlling your own dollar. So if we were to, let's say, start a joint venture together, right? It's basically leveraging, right, your connections, my connections, and ultimately coming together, right? For example, credit. A lot of people don't have good credit. Or if you don't have good credit, how can you improve your credit, right? So those are one of the things that banks look at. So when they're doing the underwriting, they're just looking at statistics, right? Looking at the numbers, seeing if you qualify, if you don't qualify. But if nobody ever told you how credit works and how to use it to your advantage to acquire assets, right, then you wouldn't know what to do, right? That's my interpretation.
Yeah. Okay. Economic power. Your thoughts?
Thoughts on economic power. We control a lot of it if we put our minds to it, right? So, for example, the Georgia election. We were speaking about that earlier.
Yeah.
They were able to mobilize, right, and get us out to vote.
Right.
And in order to mobilize, you had to infuse that state with money for that campaign to get people out, whether it would be door knocking, whatever the case was. But a lot of that money came from outside money, and it was, a lot of eyes on it. But let's pretend that the U.S. and the states wasn't on the line.
Right.
And it's just a regular election, right? Whether it be an election, a local election, are you voting for judges? All of that has an impact, right? And that's where our economic power comes in. Because I saw a lot of other people talking about, well, it don't matter who I vote for. I don't want to vote anyway, right? Because they ain't going to listen to what I got to say, right? They're not going to do nothing for my community. But not realizing that you can have an impact in your community, right? When you guys put everything together. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, we're going to donate to this political campaign, whatever the case is. It's just, in simple terms, just getting into politics, because that basically controls your future, right?
Right.
Like, for example, right now, they just opened up the California again, right? But it was just closed, or they're going to open it up pretty soon.
It's not really open.
Yeah, it's not really open. Right.
Yeah. Like, they still want the money to still come in, because without no money, how we going to live?
Right. That's a good point. So
how they going to give us stimulus checks?
A lot of businesses went
for
down.
$2,000. When Canada getting $2,000 a month.
They should be paying people monthly, right?
Yeah, I think it's stupid to put out a stimulus check for right now. Like, it should be a monthly fee. Right. Whatever amount they come up with, it should be everybody getting it.
Everybody. I say everybody get it, right? And until the pandemic is over.
Right.
Y'all keep pushing it.
Yeah, keep pushing the money out. Y'all got it's not hard to make it.
Do what you got to do.
Push it out, and we'll keep spending.
And we'll get there.
And then the economy can go up.
That's how you stimulate the economy.
You know what? I'm a write Joe Biden, because he seems like he listening to people right now. He done signed off so many things. He have changed some. He done signed off
executive orders,
transgenders to go in so far. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like our vote really counted?
I believe so.
For who's in the office now?
Yes, I definitely believe so, because it's a huge night and day comparison to who was in there.
Right.
Right. So we gonna start right there. But the man's been in office less than 3 days, 4 days,
and he's already making moves. And I just want those moves to be the moves where we see the moves, but we don't know the moves behind everything. Right. Because people be doing some little trickery stuff, and we don't got time. Because I heard about our vice president, how she do things on the low. But who was gonna vote for? Okay, listen.
Go for it.
Question: this girl, I'm gonna show you the video, but a girl on social media was talking about she voted for Trump because she felt like if Bernie wasn't in there, then who I'm gonna vote for? Joe? I mean, I didn't really know too much about Joe, so I'm going to just vote for Trump. I said, now, why did you even vote?
Yeah.
It was no purpose in you voting if you felt like it was nothing.
True.
Voting is important. So if you don't feel like it's important, why are you even voting?
Why are you even doing it? Yeah.
And then another girl said she voted for Trump because she felt that his views was better than Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. And we all have flaws.
Right.
And remember when he talked about, they brought up that tape about him grinding, like grabbing the girl's stuff or whatever?
Yeah. She
said, well, that was a private conversation. And
I saw that video.
Yeah, like
that bullshit.
She was like, it was a private conversation, and what is his name? Obama smoked weed before, so what, we gonna judge him?
Right.
So you talking about rape and
you compared weed
and grinding on women. She was like, well, groupies really do that, so they let you do that. So it's okay for just because you're a groupie, he can touch your vagina.
Right.
Is she crazy?
She got a misconception.
She was us too.
Yeah,
she was us, and she said that stupid ass shit.
Right,
I said,
right.
You know what?
See, those are people you gotta disassociate from, right? You see those people pop up on your social media and say,
it's not. This is the thing. She's so worried about us being against Trump.
Right.
It's just the individual. Fuck the name.
Right.
Like if the individual is fucked up.
Right.
Do you get that? Anyway,
people don't see that. Right?
People don't see that. We gonna come back and talk back to Mr. Donald in a minute, y'all. Yeah, she is. I couldn't believe she said that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, welcome to G-Vibes. It's your girl G9. Donald is funny. They going to get that money, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know something about how do people get into finances? What should be something they look into besides stocks? Like, what should they look into? Because that's real big right now. Everybody's looking into it. How should they look into it, and what do they need to do? They need to read some books or something?
Yeah, most definitely. So you definitely want to read some books. I would suggest going to your local bookstore. There's one called Book Off in Lakewood. Mm-hmm. They got books for $1, right? $2.
$1, y'all.
See, hey, but it's out there. You know what I mean? Go and get that. YouTube, right? That helps.
Very sourced.
Yeah, YouTube. You get a lot of free information. Right. And just try to learn something a little bit every day, right? Don't jump into something that you don't know what you're doing, right? That's the easiest way to lose money.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing. I
think that is very important to look into the stuff when you read and to comprehend it.
Yes, that's the most important thing. Because you can read something, but if you're not taking your time and learning from it and not comprehending, then it's a wrap.
So how did you figure, like, okay, let me get into stocks and how important it was for you?
Okay, so for me, I've been doing it for like a couple years now. Mm-hmm. But what I look at is if I can make, $200, $300 a day or whatever, that adds up over the year, right? Or, let me see, close to $2,000 every 2 weeks, right? Then
that's a lot for me. Like,
oh, it's a lot for me too. I just said.
You have your day job, you got your other job. Yeah, that's to do nothing.
And with a stock, you do stuff because you're researching it, right? And then you're just applying it, right? Just like how you said, reading comprehension. But my goal when I do the stocks, you know what I mean, is to get in there and get out within the first hour, right? So then that way you're not, on there every day because nobody. Depending, people got different perspectives, but I know I don't want to be at the computer looking at the stocks every single day.
Right, you just want to see your money grow.
Exactly.
Come back like, oh, I made this much.
There you go. I want to get in, want to get out. So like this morning started off pretty good, you know what I mean, and made some money.
Oh, okay, we'll check you out. So should I look for, what should I do, electronics or what?
Ooh, well, without giving you specific stock advice, right?
Don't give me specific.
Yeah. Legal disclaimer, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Small print.
What you want to do is look into things that you're interested in, right? So if there's like beauty stuff, they got companies out there, I think like Coty. If you're into financial stuff, they got financial instruments out there, right? Amazon, you like Tesla, right? But they've been going on a high right now. Just depends on the market segment that you're interested in. So then that way, you can get started with like one stock and you just figure out how it go. Like when I first got started years ago, I got Microsoft, right? But I just bought.
Well, that was smart.
Yeah, but I bought like one or two of those, right? Just to see, like, okay, I got this. I think it was Share Builder at the time, which they're no longer in existence because they got taken over by Capital One. But anyways, I had did that just to learn, to say, okay, what makes it go up? What makes it go down? Right? How can I make my money make money?
Right.
That's basically it right there.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, so What is your season this season? What is this? You done been through trials and tribulations from your wife and you, and the situation with surgeries 2 times and pandemic. So what season are you in now?
I would say this season for me is about preparation, right? Being in a position to capitalize on opportunities, right? So for me, this is my personal belief. I think the stock market is overinflated, right? But you can make money when the market goes down. Okay. So that's how I make money sometimes, you know what I mean, when the market goes down. If I believe, which I do, that housing is overinflated. Well, being in a position, right, preparation, being in a position to capitalize once the markets go down, that's how I can get it at the low, right, and then you can sell it for the high, right? So I want to get some property, but I'm not trying to get no property right now where I believe that it's at its all-time high. Yeah, exactly, right. And that's
so real estate is not good right now.
In my opinion, yeah, it's not good right now because the Fed or economy, it's just pumping money into the economy, right? But eventually, that bubble's going to collapse, right? So 2009, 2008, market collapsed. But 2011, those people who were able to get properties, they accumulated a lot of wealth during that period, right? But where was I, or where were you at in 2008, right? I think I was out of high school, in college, right? Freshman, sophomore year, whatever the case may be. But I was not in a position at all, right? Because I didn't have no money. I think I was working as a student worker at the time, right? But now you say, okay, I'm in a position. I'm an adult now. I got my credit, okay. You know what I mean? It's up there. I got my income stacked away. I'm waiting. So that's the season.
Oh, okay.
Preparation.
You know, it's hard for me to say words for some reason. I don't know why. You know what I'm gonna say to you? I think that you are truly an inspiration for those people out there that's looking up to you into getting into learning about money. People don't really want to know too much. They follow behind other people,
right?
And I think that's a bad thing too. When you listen to other people, like voting, when we listen to who we should vote for from somebody else, your views may not be like their views.
Right.
So you gotta just listen to them. So how we know with YouTube and books is it important to go into these stocks and we don't really know still, like we just taking a chance.
Yeah.
How important is that to really go into it? Like,
yeah, well, one, you would probably want to sit down with an advisor, you know what I mean, to make sure that your financial house is in order first, right? Make sure you have some money saved up, because you always want to save for a rainy day. So that's just the financial guy in me speaking, right? But then as far as you get into stocks and everything, you gotta say, okay, or just invest in general, what's my motivation behind it, right? So like with me, you know, I got goals, right? Could I live comfortably without doing anything else? Yes, right? But if I lose my job, I don't know. If I lose this other source of income, I don't know.
So
right?
that's why you have multiple incomes, so you could be secure.
Yeah, and I can have that peace of mind, right? So when I went into surgery, right, all those days that I took off, then you start going into half pay, where you only get half of your money or you get no money, you know what I mean, depending on how long you've been out, right? But I was thankful because I had other sources coming in, right? So then that gives you that peace of mind. Ultimately, that's what it is for me, is the peace of mind. Peace of mind, yeah.
You really need that, and you got a wife?
Yes, and I got a wife. Yeah.
And imagine when the kids come, y'all gonna be running. Oh,
look, we got fingers crossed. So.
Yeah, so it's gonna be one of those frenzies that at least you'll be comfortable.
Yeah, be comfortable, and be in a position to where, you know, like my wife, she don't have to work if she don't want to, right? And
you're okay with that?
I'm very okay with that, because when I met her, that's what I told her. She was doing some, you know, modeling and everything, and then working at McDonald's. So, man, you can let that go. You can let that go. I got you.
We be scared to let it go. Y'all just turn on the side, you know?
Nah, she let it go, and you gotta have trust. And she stepped out on faith, and you know, we still here. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe in y'all.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna go into a break. Can you play "As Soon As I Get Home" by Faith Evans? I want to say this. I think it's very important for you guys to listen to this episode if you haven't listened, if you're just tuning in, because you guys need to know where to put your money, what to do with it, and stop being scared. Cause
facts.
Stop being scared, really, because
right.
we be scared we're gonna lose our money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When we come back, I want to know 3 things that should keep us into finances and why. Okay. Hey, y'all, it's your girl G9. We back for a few more minutes and then we gonna head up out of here. Can you give me three reasons why people should get into stocks, finances, and investing?
Okay, so First one, you want to have assets, right? So assets are things that put money in your pocket. You don't want liabilities, right? Because that's stuff that take money out your pockets. Also, too, one of the third reasons or second reason is that you want to be able to make your own money, right? If you're reliant on a job, you know what I mean, then that's them paying you by the hour, right? But if you're investing and doing your own thing, you are able to capitalize on what you do, right? True. I think was I hit 3?
You hit 3.
Okay, cool.
Okay, you guys, that was an episode of G Vibes. Make sure you tune in every Monday, 6 to 7 p.m. And you guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions, go into my DMs. If you haven't heard the whole episode, go back and listen to the whole episode. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Say bye.
Bye. Have a good one.